This JCS slander has to stop. What's going on?
Beloved YouTube crime channel JCS just had the worst comeback ever. JCS pioneered the true crime interrogation niche on YouTube, but just lost the respect of their audience. After disappearing for the most part of 3 years due to demonetization issues and ownership disputes, the popular channel JCS made a return with a video titled "Newlyweds Tell on Each Other." The reaction from the internet went from excited to disappointed after realizing the voiceover is now a soulless AI-generated clone of the previous narrator, with commenters stating, "Human narrator is mandatory," as well as, "The AI content devalues the whole thing, and the fact that the voice changes later in the video feels like no one even checked before."
I won't lie, that's what I hated. If you watch my reaction on my channel, you can literally see my face vividly change when it changed to that girl, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Why did we need to hear her over halfway into the video when we've been hearing the normal narrator?
Before uploading, really sloppy. But it wouldn't only be the viewers who were confused, as the original voice actor named Kazume replied to a viewer wondering if he'll return, stating, "I don't know whether I will be," whilst also confirming the narration was an AI clone of his voice. The video editing also whilst also confirming the narration.
Did you know the voice of the new JC video was the AI of your voice? At the latter, that was how it will continue. AI, I don't know the future, what they'll do. I just know when they give me scripts, I read them.
Was an AI clone of his voice. The video editing also appeared really out of character for the channel. I mean, why is there a Wi-Fi router floating above the microwave next to an electric mixer? For a channel with over 5 million...
What? Okay, wait, hold on, bro. Who paid attention to this detail? Who cared enough to ask why there is a Wi-Fi router above a microwave next to an electric mixer? Who analyzed this animation so much and was like, you know what? That's out of place. Like, what? Who cares, bro?
Microwave next to an electric mixer. For a channel with over 5 million subscribers, it's safe to say this is extremely disappointing, as not only a betrayal to their audience, but also their team. Subscribe and comment below if you think they sold their YouTube channel.
God, this is just sad to see. I don't think it was that big a deal. I just didn't want the female voice. I don't really care if it's AI or the... I don't care that much if it's the AI or the original Kazumi who's narrating it. But that female voice was just completely out of left field.
The godfather of criminal psychology, as you know it on YouTube, is back and worse than ever. If you even mildly enjoy true crime, there is a very good chance that even if you don't know the name of who I'm talking about, you have seen a video from JCS. This is the channel. You might even recognize the icon. Just to give you an example of how big this channel was, I mean, just take a look at these most popular 65 million views on like an hour to an hour and a half of a video. And we can see here that they're sitting on 425 million views on 20 videos. That is averaging 20 million views a video. Now, they had most recently uploaded a video just a few days ago, but if you go back to their channel, you're not going to see that. You're going to see the most recent being a year ago. And why is that? As a matter of fact, why was there another 2-year gap over here? Their most viewed video of all time is followed up by a video posted 2 years after the fact. But as for why the most recent upload was deleted, it sucked eggs. More importantly than it sucking eggs is it had a terrible AI voiceover of the original narrator of the channel, who's going to show up in the story later. And on top of that, they switched it to a female narrator for no reason at all towards the end, another AI generated.
Yeah, the switch to the female made zero sense at all.
voice, and it sucked even worse. Now, first thing, I'm going to show you a clip from that most popular video so that you understand what the original voice of the narrator sounded like.
A jury then found him legally sane, and he was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of his mother. All of which was in spite of a continuous charade of mental illness similar to the one you see here.
Love it or hate it, that was the iconic voice of JCS Criminal Psychology. Everyone knew it and to a large degree liked it. Having someone just coldly analyze what was going on in terms of like the interrogations, things like that, was never done so cleanly and with such an unbiased narrator or point of view doing the analysis. They were also known for, adding these very, tiny little quips here and there, but truly it was kept to a minimum and people loved that. Well, even on the return, which was almost 2 years ago now, well, the AI voice actually started showing up a couple videos before the one that was released a few days ago. This video here, son spends $275K of dad's money on virtual girlfriend, came out almost 2 years ago now, February 15th of 2023, and this is what that AI voice sounded like.
In mid-2018, 29-year-old Grant was unemployed, living rent-free in his parents' guest house in the rural village of Chuliota, Florida. He had not once lived on his own, and had recently been kicked out of an anesthesiology school for lack of attendance, and also fired from a job as a nurse for stealing medication.
Pretty yucky. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a big fan, it's gonna irk you a bit more, but if you're new to the channel, it's not gonna bother you as much. Now, I understand right off the bat that this sounds a bit nitpicky, and it is, but I would say it is for good reason, and we're gonna get more into it later, but I want you to understand how impactful JCS Criminal Psychology was. JCS was the first really big channel that really took off in terms of covering interrogation footage and analyzing the interrogation, its techniques, as well as the stories themselves. To my knowledge, no one else had done it at least to the level and degree of quality that had been done by JCS. And with whatever was going on, JCS not posting consistently, it birthed an entire niche on YouTube. I just took a second and also talked to my fiance.
Because there's literally a ton of channels that say JCS inspired because they were inspired by his channel.
So a huge fan of JCS Criminal Psychology. And these are some of our favorites, but truly there are so many. But we have the Ewu Crew or Explore With Us, Dreading, Red Tree Crime, which I subbed them at like, I don't know, 30K subs a couple years ago. And this was like in the heat of people just wanting so much of this like interrogation footage analysis. And also Stay Awake, I'd seen a few of their videos. But truly, like JCS not being consistent left a huge content like vacuum that needed to be filled, and they filled it. I just kind of want to emphasize that JCS is the reason that all this exists. The quality of their content really just put them over the top in comparison to anyone else at the time. Whether you agree with the analysis that they would conduct or not, it's still made for a fantastic watch, and the numbers prove that. So they'd done a little bit with AI. There was a bunch of back and forth. They had this huge debacle with YouTube talking about how they kept flagging or striking their videos and they were getting upset, but it seemed like they were able to get that sorted out. All that leads up to them uploading that video from a couple days ago. This being Newlyweds Tell on Each Other, which is a re-upload because they deleted it after I think just a few hours. And I'll just play the first few seconds so you can understand that absolutely nothing has changed, and if anything, the AI voice has gotten worse.
Behold, the sacred union that unites two souls into a lifelong journey. On the 2nd of December of 2017, Amelia and Joshua got married. They danced through the night to their favorite love songs, which consisted primarily of Ed Sheeran. Then
keep in mind, they had never done anything that you're seeing right now, like including these animations here, which are, in my opinion, I just don't like these. But they hadn't included anything like that. They hadn't included these Uncanny Valley Sunny V2, artistic renderings. And on top of that, they didn't make jokes like this Ed Sheeran thing very often. But if those were the only complaints, then I don't think it would be the end of the world. At the end of the day,
I thought they were just trying new stuff. I didn't really care about it.
Multi-year long, hiatuses that the channel had been going through, you're bound to see some changes.
I thought they were just trying new stuff because normally when he does an intro saying, just leading up to what happened and why there's a story in the first place, he normally does like the video of like, I don't know, someone coming home and then the investigators finding him or whatever. This was just, there's not that, there's just the interrogation. So he did like an intro animation video of them and then led into the interrogation. That was my thought. But again, I thought it was just trying something new, and it interesting to me.
in the videos that come out.
Again,
These,
this is all
however, all
nitpicky,
put
he said.
together were
And I
pretty
agree.
intense, quite a step away from the form that they usually took up. And this culminated with around like 40 minutes into the video, this horrible female AI voice that they just
the
switched to
female
for no
was
discernible
terrible.
reason at all, and it just sucks. I'll play it for you.
The detectives re-enter Josh's
was
room 14 minutes
trash.
later at 5:52 p.m. The other narrator will now be taking you through the second phase of his interrogation.
Better?
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now. One moment.
Like, this was trash. I don't care. I assumed this was. I didn't know about the AI thing until after, you know, he took the video down and all that. But thinking this was a real person, bitch, why are you here? I don't like your voice for this narration, and we didn't need you. They could have consistently kept the previous narrator and not have switched to this female. There was no reason to. Her voice sounds terrible for explaining this situation.
You're in dreamland, and the next you're jolted back into
And what is this
interrogation room
joke?
reality, being asked if the blanket is helping with the cold by the guy who's controlling the thermostat.
Number one, it sounds like Hillary Clinton if she was a heroin addict, and number two, this is just like a really
Yeah, she
sucky,
sounds
like
emotionless.
what I would say, like if I had to react to a video when I was live. It's just dumb, and it does not maintain like what JCS is known for. JCS was not built on its comedic value. It was built on the quality of the content, the straightforward analysis, and then here and there a few little quips. But this kind of stuff is just dumb. Maybe it's irking me more because it's heroin addict Hillary Clinton telling me it as well, but it's just, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And we know that the team that is running the channel at this point, although there are some theories in regard to that, also were aware of the pushback, as from what we understand, although we don't have screenshots, as we can see here from the JCS subreddit, someone had made an edit saying that they had posted a comment on the YouTube video while it was still up saying, "Thanks for sticking around, guys. We hear you loud and clear about the narration. It will be corrected for the next video." Now, interestingly enough, people do clear about the narration. It will be corrected for the next video. Now, interestingly enough, people do know who the actual narrator is. It's this really cool looking guy that goes
it's never
by the
been
name
a secret.
Kazum. Even shows a cool little pronunciation
Kazum.
thing. What a
I thought it
guy.
was
But this dude
Kazumi.
just has such a peculiar voice, and I personally, along with many others, really like it.
With Abrahamic religion, there are a whole bunch of things that you're not supposed to do or even think about.
Now, a lot of people were worried that he wasn't actually getting any sort of credit and that they had pretty much just robbed this guy, you know, took his voice, used an AI, and just
Which
started
is
using his
false.
voice without his permission. But we know that that isn't true, as he has put out repeatedly, by even just in his YouTube comments or on his Twitter, that that is in fact not the case. On his most recent video, Kazum, where he just did a quick neighborhood evening walk in the fog, and I gotta say it looks really pretty, one of the top comments is, "Disappointing to see you are not part of the latest JCS production. If indeed JCS didn't sell off his channel to an indifferent investor, can you shed any light on what has happened there? Your talents are sorely missed. You are a one-of-a-kind gem." Kazum responds, "The AI should be temporary." And then he makes a reply again to somebody who asked the question, "Did you not say the exact same thing when they released a video a year ago?" Which, of course, is referencing his AI voice being used in previous videos that we had talked about earlier. And he responds back to them, "Let's just say that I really think it will be different this time." And now getting into Kazum's Twitter replies, where he started replying to a few, you know, fans of the JCS channel and giving us a bit more information as to what's going on with the JCS channel, his role in it, why they're just using his voice in AI, and like, is he getting paid for it? We start off with him making a reply about Joseph Biden with hairy legs, which I'm not gonna get into. And then Caleb asks, "Kazum, I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but I see JCS is using an AI version of your voice. Are you able to confirm or deny whether you'll be actually narrating a video of theirs again? Thank you." He says, "I don't know whether I will be. This is going to slightly change, just like you saw in the YouTube video." Caleb says, I doubt he has access to that information. Even if he did, I doubt he'd speak on it. And he doesn't seem like the kind of person to comment on that sort of thing. The person to ask is Jim themselves. Kazum just replies, when they give me scripts, I read them. I don't have access to any other information. Next one, did you voice the new JCS video or was that AI of your voice? If the latter, is that how it will continue? Kazum replies, AI. I don't know the future of what they'll do. I just know when they give me scripts, I read them. Then again, somebody else, why don't you work with a different crime channel then? It's clear.
Bro, why do y'all keep asking this nigga basically the same question, just rephrasing it? Like, it almost seems like harassment at this point. Like, he's just a narrator. He's just asked to read a script. They cut him a check. He moves on. You're asking, why does he work with different crime? Like, why are you asking about his career, his job and shit? Nigga, hop off of him. If he want to find some other work, he'll do that. Like, he has his own reasons. Why are you digging into it? Maybe it's personal. Maybe it's private. You can make some real good money partnering with a true crime. Like, if he wants to do that, maybe he'll do that. He could have did that in the years the JCS was on break. Why are you, like, inquiring about that private information?
Clear to me that your voice is the reason JCS became so iconic. You could make some real good money partnering with a true crime channel and maybe even donate some profits. Kazum replies, because I still have hopes they'll give me a script again. And then the next one, why did they use AI instead of giving you a script? Did they tell you they were cloning your voice? Kazum replied, I don't know why they're using AI. I thought it was temporary, and it still may be. And then on top of this, that same person made a comment, I noticed they still linked your YouTube channel in their credits. Could this have been an oversight where they posted the vid early? It would be such a shame for them to swap to AI. Can I make a post about this to give it some attention? And then Kazum replies, there's no need. I know and appreciate that they have my channel linked. And then someone replied to him posting about one of the videos that he had made, asking, are you going to seek legal action if it isn't temporary? It's your voice they are profiting off. Kazum replies, I'm pretty sure it's temporary and they're compensating in ways that they can. So he is getting what seems to be, in his eyes, a justified compensation for what he's doing. Or I should say, for the fact that they're using his voice as AI. And now there was a big theory that, like, as we can see from the decline in the quality of the content, which has been, you know, obviously not very rapid as in terms of, like, you know, time frame, since it's years between each post, but more so between the videos, just the downward spiraling quality from the AI voice to the scripts not being the same. They're like adding comedy, you know, thoughts and feelings that they hadn't before. It felt like for a lot of people that they had sold the channel. But Kazum actually clarifies that this wasn't the case, and he also kind of makes a full blanket statement in regard to, you know, kind of the blowback that the video had been receiving. He says, look, there are people saying things that are just incorrect about JCS and myself. JCS got my permission first to use AI regarding my voice, and I am also being compensated word for word like I normally would. They're simply not screwing me over. Going on to say that their future uploads should have his actual narration on them. He then also replies to somebody who actually put up this question about the channel getting sold. They say, what I would like to know is if the channel got sold or not. I see so many people saying that it did, but none of them are a very reputable source. It should still be the same owners, right? I would assume so unless told otherwise. And then Kazum seems to confirm it's not sold, and unless they totally give up, I don't imagine them selling. So as to what's going on behind closed doors, I have no idea. Since it's a group,
because it's called closed doors. You're outside the club. You can't get in. That's why it's called closed doors, nigga. Y'all just need to stay on the outside and shut the fuck up.
Realistically, in my head, what makes the most sense is that there were some sorts of disputes with, like, what direction to move the channel, and they were making upwards of, I mean, collectively, that channel has made well over a couple $100,000. I don't have that in writing. I'm just looking at the statistics and the analytics, and if you're getting crazy retention like they were,
said how much?
For as that channel has made well over a couple $100,000. I don't have that in writing. I'm just looking at the statistics and the analytics. And if you're getting crazy retention like they were for as long of a video with that many views on a channel, they were doing well. But I'm assuming there was some sort of kind of disputes between that. I think some of the YouTube stuff is partly true, although I'm a bit confused as to how they received so much flack for what they were doing when any other channel that has kind of blown up after them, like Explore With Us, like Red Tree Crime, Dreading, etc., none of them have been dealing with, even to the severity that JCS is claiming they were, the type of strikes or restrictions that YouTube was giving to JCS. Not to say that what they went through isn't real or that they were lying about it, but it just kind of comes off as them using that as an excuse when realistically they could have, you know, put out more content. I don't think people would have been too upset if they reduced the amount of, like, you know, directly talking about murder, anything like that. I don't know if that realistically would have had much of a consequence to a viewership. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Adios. Peace.
Whoa, guys! You didn't think.
Seen a video from JCS. Think in the comments down below. But that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Adios. Peace.
Yeah, and hear what that lot. Okay, so I feel like this whole AI, there's definitely some built up animosity that caused people to not like what he did with the new video. Although I don't agree with the fact that he should have removed said video. Just over that insane backlash. Because there are still some people who just wanted to listen to the story of what happened. And with the narration that was going, well, I don't fucking know at this point. I just feel like people were just jumping straight to shooting, and it's not exactly justified. I'm just one person. What can I say? If you have an opinion, comment down below what you think. Obviously, my opinion is that the female voice was completely fucking unneeded. And I don't know why they even did that. You can actually, I'll pull it up. My face, I completely changed when I heard that shit. Where is it? That was when they went back to...
15 minutes later at 5:52 p.m. The other narrator will now be taking you through the second phase of his interrogation.
Better?
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now. One moment.
That was my
Narrator
reaction.
will now
to
be
the
taking
voice.
you through the
It was
second
just
phase of
no.
his interrogation.
It was just no. I shook my head and it was
Better?
just no.
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now.
I'm
One
laughing.
moment you're in dreamland,
It's
and the
laughable.
next you're jolted back into interrogation room reality, being asked if the blanket is helping with the cold by the guy who's controlling the thermostat.
Yeah. So obviously we want to follow up with you because, you know, we went back and talked to Amelia.
Did I comment on that?
And when ask your wife.
Oh, I don't think I did then. Well, yeah, but you can clearly tell I was unsettled
On the evening of August
by that voice. It just made no sense to me why it was even thrown in there. Again, comment your opinions. You let me know where JCS made the right decision, how you feel about the AI, and all of the comments Kazoom had to respond to. Like the video. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Subscribe. Bell icon. Peace out.